What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime. It is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for the best rom-com and probably one of the better slice-of-life animes that I see. And that being said, let's go with some of our usual caveats before we get started. And a small announcement of, look at this shirt. This is a nice shirt. This is my second Marin shirt, and I like it. Means I don't have to make sure to do one load of laundry every week, as long as I have at least one of these shirts clean. Anyway. Caveats. Number one being, it actually is surprisingly not that hot when I go outside. Probably be way different because I'm wearing black, but that is what it is. At least there's no air conditioner. So, if you're checking the show out, please don't forget to hang around, leave a comment, have conversations with myself or others, because it is always encouraged because comments are good for the algorithm. But speaking of being good for the algorithm, it is also always appreciated to be able to leave it running, hit like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But mostly the comments, because, I mean, algorithm aside, I absolutely adore talking about this show with people. So, that said, let's just get into this and see what kind of shenanigans go down involving Marin, Gojo, and their new cross-dressing friend who does very good at what he does. You know, like in an RPG. But instead of a chest plate, just titties. Me, the first time I saw Marin before I actually liked her for further than that. I wasn't pausing on that last image for obvious reasons. Like, the fact that was in her imagination, though, is, I mean, honestly based, because, I mean, it's true to my heart. But also, what in the fuck, Miss Katagawa? See, these are reasons I love her. You know, it's not just because she's, but also her mindset works just the same as a lot of, us, and that is to be highly appreciated. He's using Gojo as a test dummy. That's funny. Sounds like something Marin would do too. Yeah! Marin got distracted by the fact they're fake. But hey, if it's an excuse to touch Gojo that won't send her into the atmosphere, sure. He just couldn't handle it. Like, they're not actually his, but the fact that that was happening was too much for him. No, I understand. Well, duh. He's the one who did it. I know he's asking for the sake of, knowing how to make his work better. But that's probably a question that's gonna throw him just a little bit off. Yeah, as I thought, he was just curious about the way that worked, because I mean, for the cut up bits version, I'll mention the whole he's done work for girls to do cross-dressing cosplays as guys, i.e. the little fuck, what's their last name? Whatever, the little sister of those two that they met last season. She did the guy cosplay, so he did it for her. I think he's probably done it for Marin at least once, too. Or at least he's going to. So, yeah, he figured he might as well ask how it works the other way around. Who knows, maybe he'll decide to join Marin in something. Actually, I think I've seen some manga panels where, yes, indeed, he did, actually. The look of panic on his face, though. Damn. Using concealer to cover up this kind of thing, when it's, not as pronounced, clearly, is insane. Did that work? It's not something I personally would try, but does that actually work for y'all that don't have, full-ass beards that do the kind of, cross-dressing cosplay thing or whatever? Actually, I think the crazier part would be if he's, that much older than them. Did he just say she shaves her eyebrows completely off sometimes? Yeah, that is bold. You never know when you cut something completely off if it's just never gonna come back. That's the fucked up thing about hair, is eventually, it just will decide not to return, and then you'll look like a jackass. Now, granted, at least a lot of women wear those dumbass fake eyelashes, so at least she can make up for it, but still dangerous. Meanwhile, he's just I'm gonna look at everything now. And she's trying to get his attention and not going well, is it? Yeah. But like when you invited him into this world, that's the kind of thing that happens. That is also the unfortunate part, though, is when you buy from a specialty shop. I don't know why it kind of slipped on my asses a little bit there. It does end up being at least twice as expensive 99% of the time. A shame, but that is how it is. Same when you try to buy retail. So it's like you gotta hit that middle ground, otherwise you're getting screwed on price. Because specialty shops, more often than not, are expensive for the shit you're actually looking for. But also when you look at resale, eBay, it's more expensive too. Which is a shame because eBay actually used to be cheaper with a lot of things, but I've looked for a couple of things on eBay for shits and giggles recently. Way more expensive than store brand. Like, there has been one cosplay outfit I look for. It's not that expensive. It's just a matter of, like, paying for it. Like, this is one of those things I would like. If I actually had a consistent number of people who showed up on streams, I would totally set as some kind of goal, because unless I go to a con, which I've been to maybe one or two in my life, would like to go more, but I'd have no other reason to wear it, but on stream, what a bad idea. Oh. I never expect shows like this to actually say even light swears like shit. I thought he was about to ask the same question that, why can I not think of her name right now? Katagawa's friend. Whatever. Like, I thought he was about to ask the same exact question that she did at the. Noah, there it is. That she asked at the end of episode 1. Oh, yeah, they're all cosplaying from the same content. Always gotta like when you come upon that by circumstance. And why do they care? Actually, that probably makes them want to do it more then. The look of pure shock on their faces. That's a decent thumbnail image, Ike. Like, it has nothing to do with, the important characters, so it might not, but also kind of works. I knew they'd like it even more, though, for that fact, honestly, though. Like, it's 2025. Come on. People kind of more go for that kind of thing, high key. Like, there might not be everyone in the world that does, but hey, as long as you're openly admitting to it, more reason to just approve of it, because at least you know who you are. Okay, the one on the right kind of feels like she'd probably be one of those princely types in the games. She said it. She said the title of the episode. I don't even know where the other green haired chick came from, but she kind of cute too. Okay, before I let him continue on, I suppose I'm going to get on the thing that's going to be a very, very hot take, just to say it real quick, is this is the proper way to act in today's society if you have that kind of mindset about things. Like, it's perfectly okay, to want to dress up like you're something else. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly valid. That's perfectly okay. Saying you are that other thing to get into a public situation that is exclusive to the other side, that's the not okay part. I'm not going into much further detail than that, but if you're cross dressing and you're cosplaying or whatever, that's all fine and dandy as long as you can openly admit in the end that you are still a guy. If you're more comfortable in the other aspect of things, that's perfectly fine and valid. As long as you are still admitting the truth to yourself. You can say whatever you want, for temporary sake, but don't try to, like, put it in front of everybody that you are what you're not, because things might get a little insane. But I'm not digging much further into that. I respect, him because he knows what he hates being a guy. That's fine. He's more comfortable cosplaying / dressing as a girl. That's fine. It's not like he tried to lie to Marin and Gojo from the beginning. He was open about it, and that is respectful. We respect that. Those other two girls who wanted to take pictures with him, he was honest with them. We respect that. And that is where I end that thought process, because I don't need the hot take to get any more scorching. Bro, W's. Honestly. Straight W's. Kind of thing wouldn't happen in reality, mind you, but it's still a W. Oh, is this where shit got awkward, like with Gojo, to where she realized that he prefers dressing as a she, so she's like, oh, ew, and then left. Because that I also could understand being a thing, because, well, sorry, that's just how humans are. I'm not gonna single out one gender or another from that discussion, because people are just shitty when it comes to that kind of thing. They realize who you actually are, and they completely change their mind and deuce. Oh, that's where the... Okay, so did he even get the time to mention that? No, I just dress like a girl. Or did she deuce out before that? Because that's also completely a thing that could happen. And, yep, she didn't believe him. See, a long time ago, it was a very low ratio. Nowadays, you probably find that in like every fifth guy's house you meet. Yeah, and Gojo suddenly feels like he has even more of a kindred spirit now. The admittance way too late. Yeah, Gojo's like, oh, well, damn. I really feel for you now, man. Yeah, no, like, here's the thing. Like, this ain't even a soapbox thing. It's literally just a, if you have the chance with somebody and then they hate what one of your main hobbies is, 9 times out of 10, it's just, yeah, better to do that. Like, I'm absolutely desperate to find love, you know. I will chop my leg off, I will chop an arm off if somebody's willing to give me a chance, but listen, if somebody, like, comes over, sees all my anime shit, and goes, ew, well, they're out the door, and I continue to be miserable, because, listen, I can give up a lot. I can give up, well, I don't think I can get in trouble legally for showing this, but I can give, certain things up when it comes to that, but I don't think I could give up certain things. No, but Gojo really did feel for him for a minute, but he actually had bigger literal and metaphorical balls than Gojo back when Gojo dealt with that shit as a kid. Yes, but Marin, darling, it's unfortunate, but human beings are kind of shitty in that regard. Very, very unfortunate, but that is just how it is. Now, granted, again, that's at least the one good thing about people being more open-minded in today's society is it's less likely that kind of shit will happen, but it very well still could. So be careful of who you'll let into your hobbies and tell them beforehand before that kind of shit happens. You know what the ironic part would be? If the girl he met in college was the same girl that talked shit to Gojo all that time ago. Because we never really did get a peg on if she was older or younger than him, so maybe she's already in college. Maybe that was the case. Plus, that's also technically, a good part about being at cosplay place, because, random, highly unlikely chance of some sort of meet cute, maybe guy cosplaying as a girl and girl cosplaying as a guy meet and shit clicks. Oh, please. Like, he is so beyond the thought of judging other people. Like, he might consider certain things about things that it could be on, but he's not that type. No, those two other girls had openly, well, as the term is, stand you. Still not sure what the fuck that actually is supposed to mean, but I have a clue. But when they heard that, the girls were like, oh, hell yeah, we're behind that. Because that's just, like, the modern day thing. And I should take what he's saying to heart, that just because people say one thing once doesn't mean other people will. But then there's also the tally of having a specific thing said to you at least 20 times that it really starts to drill in there. He even took off the costume in front of them to depart. Isn't that nice? He trusts them that much. Yeah, okay, I could see how it's so easy to pass now that we're getting an actual look at his face, though. Like, what do you mean 5 o'clock shadow, though? It's not like the artist really even gave him anything down here. Damn it, Marin. Oh, he is older than them. Oh, they will. What the hell is he... What are they doing? Okay, but, like... She's not even in cosplay. She doesn't even have her Gyaru gear on. And she's trying to become an actual model? Because nailed it. I saw these pictures on Twitter for a preview of the episode, and like, she's always gorgeous. But also, even without the other shit going on. But, I mean, technically, alright, I actually did kind of forget in season 1 she mentioned she was an amateur model as her, like, part-time job. Legitimately forgot about that somehow. Yeah, so she can help, pay for more materials and stuff for her cosplays, because can't really pay for shit without doing work, can she? Even if she has a fucking fancy credit card, still needs to pay that shit off too. Oh, I bet! Probably said the same for the manga too, not too long after production. Nope, her priority is cosplaying. This is just for that extra money. Yeah, he's also the one who makes her costumes, so that's a no-go. Alright, hold on, that one better be better for camera. Yes, you are. Not by title, but by actions. The statement our relationship is based on money is an insane thing to say out of context. Like, it's not. Like, he could have said the relationship is based on, I don't know, clothing, because that's more accurate. But to say it's based on money makes it seem like typical Gyaru work. Yeah, see, she's super confused now. Because it was totally out of left field and out of context. Of course. Like, does anybody doubt that? Yeah, and then once her manager leaves, she'll probably just, like, be completely mentally drained. Is that so? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, he basically is. They just, like, aren't titling it yet, because, well, regardless of this being one of the better rom-coms of all time, it is still the fact of main characters A and B are stupid as fuck. Because she's totally in love with him, but won't say shit. And he's openly admitting that he loves her. But again, typical rom-com of neither says shit. No, it's not her birthday this month. I swear to God, she's celebrating the birthday of one of the characters. Yeah. Why am I not surprised by that, honestly? She couldn't even just wear the wig and... Well, I guess that's too much effort for this sake. Then again, it will have made for a good birthday present for Shizuku to add another tally to that, don't you think, Gojo? Listen, I have a lot of weird fascinations with, anime characters and shit, but I don't think it's ever been quite to that extent. Like, no shade her, still, like... Listen, obviously, one of the characters I refer to that'll simp over, to hell and back for is her. I mean, come on. Shirt, bedding, other stuff. But, like, I don't think I ever go that far to, like, throw birthday parties. When it pops up on, like, social media or something, that character's birthday is that day, maybe, throw a like or something for that. But otherwise, it's, like, little much. Unless you have other people that are that weird celebrating with you and then y'all can have fun together. That's different. What you're witnessing is your girlfriend being overjoyed about a game or a character from an H game. Which, again, in a sense, I could say is based as shit, but also it might be a little much. But hey, he's celebrating with her and that makes her happy. Like a good boyfriend. Yeah, that's what her manager was mentioning earlier, is how easy she can switch modes. Like, she can go from the hyperactive, otaku that she is, to being, in character for whatever cosplay she's doing if needed, to being, holy fuck, is this woman already an adult model status, all the way full circle back to this. Smash. Bitch just literally exhausted all of her energy in 10 minutes playing with a body pillow. And not even in that sense. I don't know if that works. Actually, matter of fact, it kind of makes it worse because knowing the content, that kind of seems like a thing the character might do too. As much as I absolutely adore the art style that they use for the outro, I have to skip it because that's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes worth of time I unfortunately can't spend because not enough time in the day. We're only on episode 3 of the season, but like I will say again, being reminded that Square Enix has something to do with this is still fascinating to me because like the shit that Square Enix gets their hands on is insane. I'm just saying because like they go from doing something like I don't know this or Miss Satsuki's little baby ghost to doing something like Takamine-san and worlds apart in theory. Maybe not Takamine-san compared to this, because it's both rom-coms with extremely hot girls, but really it's going from like a totally almost PG comedy to rom-coms with 9 to 10 level girls. It's crazy. And they probably have part in so much more I'm not actually actively thinking about. But this continues to say that there's so much that Square Enix could do in the video game department other than RPGs, and it would sell like hotcakes. Like, if they just threw out some random bullshit thing on Steam just to like humor the masses and make money, you know, say like Palworld did with their dating sim, but like a good dating sim, fucking throw that thing out there for $5 to $10 and include characters from all the Final Fantasies or something, for example. Money. It's so much money. But that's the Square Enix topic. Before we get on to any other topic, I'm going to just stop back on my possibly controversial soapbox to say the thing about Amane with the it is perfectly okay for you to cosplay, cross-dress, whatever, as, you know, what you are not. But you need to be open about what you are. Like, that is all. You can't, like, lie to people, and then when it gets dropped on them, they get, like, angry with you, and then you're suddenly shocked about it. No, if you're honest with people from the beginning, then that's more helpful. Even if they look at you as weird, which means they're the asshole, as long as you're honest from the beginning, then that's all you need to do. It's very helpful. You know, even if, and I'm branching outside of simply the cross-dress cosplay part of things, like, if you're in the middle of actually moving over to the other side of things, you can be honest about that too. You know, people will respect you, people will like you if you are just honest. You know, it's way different if you're not honest. Because, high key, that's actually the kind of thing that gets more people in trouble in this lifetime. Strange, I know, right? But that's my part on is just like, be honest to yourself and other people. You know, if you don't feel like what you are, that is fine. But at least be honest about that fact to others. Because if they say you or think it's gross or creepy, well, then you can also afterwards tell them to go fuck themselves. Like, honestly, I've been scarred mentally by a bunch of shit my entire life, and I don't even think I'm, like, something I'm not. I admit to what I am, and that's part of my problem. But at least I admit to what I am, and don't try to fuck around. You know, emotionally, you know, in my heart, I could very well come off and just say I'm a lesbian, but unfortunately, I am what I am, an ugly man. But doesn't mean I can't still show the love and respect to those kind of relationships as much as I do. I mean, literally, we have a Yuri Monday this season on the channel because of at least 2 shows that have that kind of aspect to them. And there are so many other shows we're still watching because they have that aspect to them. And it's not all because of, like, the perverse thing that men usually think about when it comes to lesbians. It's literally because I think that in most regards, they probably just have a more good relationship than, straight couples. I've also watched, other contents on the side of, like, the same-sex relationships, but there are not many good yaoi anime out there, high-key. Like, I'd give them the respect they deserve if they don't get into too awkward of an atmosphere, but there just are not enough good ones. But I got way off topic to the show. I got on my soapbox, went off topic again, and well, that's what happens. Now on to the more important part of the show. Our main characters. Still, very fascinating that Marin can go from cosplay mode to model mode back to her usually goofy ass self, and then just do wherever she needs to in between all that. And the cosplay also has like its own operandum because she does multiple characters. Granted, half those characters so far are very questionable moral wise, so that at least makes it easier. But then there's other characters she's done, like the one from the end of last season, who kind of reminded me of Esdeath, as well as the personality, so that gives an example of what I mean. Like, this is another reason why she is just simply the best girl of anime-dom, period. And Gojo, well, Gojo just needs to let his balls drop. That's all I'll say on that. Like, I know manga-wise, they eventually get their shit together, and I really hope anime-wise they just do it sooner. Because, like, here's the thing, I know people are always bitching about or anime not following the manga standards for pacing, like Promise Neverland, but also high-key, hopefully they do better in this than the manga with pacing. Because I heard the manga just took too fucking long to get the point, and they literally shoehorned the usual, here's emotional imbalance bullshit that's unneeded. Hopefully if they do that, whether it be in this season or whether it be in a season 3, if that exists, hopefully that whole thing of, his old crush from when he was a kid coming back up and causing an imbalance, hopefully that only is like a thing for an episode. Yes, that might be a manga spoiler, but also I'm preparing you for the only ounce of bullshit I ever saw come from the manga. But I'm gonna stop talking as I'm almost at an hour, and I don't want to rant for another 10 minutes about anything really, so. Marin's best girl, this show's great, and only has one possible hiccup I'm actually aware of that will come up at some point or another, but hopefully they don't expand it for an excruciating long amount of time. But you can let me know your thoughts on anything I'd said in this episode, or pertaining to the show itself, the characters, whatever, because I always encourage people to leave comments to converse with myself or others. If you hate my take on the whole, cross-dressing thing, please do feel free to let me know, because I know a lot of people will probably like, and then we insert the comment, but still, if you have your opinions, I am not afraid to let you feel them, because I know people have their opinions on that, and I have mine. That's just 2025 for you. But more importantly, I'd prefer to hear about your opinions based on Marin, the show, and whatever else to do with the content. But it is what it is. That said, though, also don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel in the description, ring both bells like Facebook, follow, turn, blue sky, keep updated with things. I know I was saying all the color stuff before, but honestly that is so excruciating, and I think the only one I should say different for is the other T platforms. Speaking of T platforms, also TikTok and Patreon, where you get the full and visuality of the stuff I upload here. Now go follow Purple Prime for free. You can subscribe with Purple Prime for free. That's what I was trying to say. And I did start a green account. I haven't done anything there yet, but I have started one, and I plan on doing some stuff with there soon, but hopefully the company can get it together to give me my name, because this is the first video I've tried, so I will say that I tried to get my name, not this channel's name, but my creator name, that I should be the only one who's had it, but for some reason the green platform had it unavailable. So I added the numbers like on my main channel, but in the middle of the conversation I was having about asking why my actual name was unavailable, I was like, alright, well, I made the account, so just like push for the name to be available to me, because it should be. The account, the name doesn't actually exist on the green platform, so like, what the hell? Like, maybe the person who stole my identity on YouTube here, you know, made an account on the green thing, but then when I got them in trouble on here, it ripple affected and they got deleted everywhere else, which should look up when you're trying to make a username and not steal someone else's. That's my thing on that. But I'm not going to continue on with that because, again, I'm almost at a full hour and I will try to avoid that whenever I can because the editing process is hell. That said, actually not really so much because I usually just leave the entirety of the ending bit until I'm doing the shorts, but regardless. Check out the playlist here, let it run through, have conversation with this stuff within whatever it might be. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here, or if you're watching the smaller version, it's the bigger version, you can see what you missed. That being said, it's been the Blaze King with King's Critiques, and ta-ta for now. Peace.